Was that a penalty?
That was not a penalty, in my opinion. Oh, I'm so bummed. I mean, good on England. They continue to fight. We've seen that throughout the tournament. Had to weather a ton of storms, but I feel for Italy in this moment.
The starting lineups were interesting to me. There were some changes on both sides, but the biggest one looking at England was Jess Carter coming out and Esme Morgan getting her first start of the tournament. Were either of you surprised that that was the change that was made coming into this match against Italy?
I'll start. Yes and no, because I would have imagined, given everything that had been happening, and first of all, let's just state, like, the amount of abuse, racial abuse that footballers are experiencing is just freaking horrendous. It is disgusting. Good on Jess Carter and England. Lots of love to Jess, but like, she shouldn't be having to come out and make these statements, right, and take a stand. That should be dealt with already. This shouldn't be happening, and it's horrendous. But I was thinking that we had a lot of conversations because of just knowing and hearing about how Sarina Wiegman has approached with her team and the relationship she has. I was thinking that this would have been a conversation between Sarina and Jess just to see where she was mentally, and then also. So that was kind of my initial thinking. So I could have seen it go either way. Yep, Jess is like, all right, I'm ready, or not, right? And I totally respect that. But then to see Esme Morgan and her coming on and finishing the previous game against Sweden the way she did, also not surprising either. So for me, it was just like, either way, I could have seen it. We could have seen it gone.
Yeah.
They're looking over. Sorry, go ahead, Kel.
No. I just was going to say exactly what Lori said. So yeah, yes and no. And again, we obviously know publicly what Jess has said and what is going on, and I can't even imagine what she's dealing with behind closed doors. So yeah, I think that it was probably, who knows if it was a decision that was made between Sarina and her, or what went down. But we're all thinking about her and sending her love.
Yeah, I think it was the best decision. And Esme Morgan has been great in this tournament. I think we've seen her grow in confidence. I think we're seeing chemistry build between her and the back line, which there's a lot of question marks in the last game about. But going into this match, Italy, we were talking about it as we were all watching, in the spiritual 5-3-2 that they were playing in. Kel, I know you didn't want to see them in a 5-back, but effective or not?
No, so that was the thing in the first half. I was like, man, I understand why they're playing this 5-3-2. The two are kind of shadowing Walsh, not letting her get on the ball centrally, not letting them play through the middle of the field. And I get that, but I feel like their 4-3-3 high press against Norway was so effective. And I loved watching that. And I felt like that gave Italy a lot of confidence in that game and was able to help them win that game. So my thought was like, being a little bit more conservative with the 5-3-2, I was concerned that they were not going to be as aggressive, as confident, as on their front foot. But the reality is, and shout out to their coach, like he has set up his team perfectly in every single game they've gone into. And this 5-3-2 was extremely effective against England.
Yeah, this is what I like about this Italian team. And I was expecting some sort of run like this. And I only say that not like, oh, okay, I'm like high on like Italy, know all their tactics leading into this tournament. But just given their trajectory of their professional league, the run that they've had prior, and then going fully professional in 2022, I was expecting some sort of run like this. But one of the things that I've really appreciated throughout this tournament is their tactical flexibility. We've seen them go from a 5-back to a 4-back. I actually thought, I completely agree with what you're saying against Norway, Kel, but I actually wasn't surprised they went to the 5-back, just given that England had different threats than Norway. There was no real like pacemaker with Norway on the front line. Hegerberg is not going to beat anybody in behind, so they could take more risks. Whereas I think they really had to be mindful of Russo and her ability to stretch, and also just keep her limited, because then that was going to limit the impact of the other players in the wide areas if they keep Russo quiet, because she's not going to be able to bring other players into the game. But I agree. I mean, it's a little bit of like, if you risk something, you're also going to take something away, because you're going to have too many players back. But really, I thought they got the game plan right until that second half. I think it was just felt like they were defending too much. And we've all been in those situations when you're defending like that. It is just a matter of time. And then to switch and have to change that mentality once a team does score and tie, that's an even bigger shift than to then start to, especially when you've made subs, right, to try to see out the game.
Well, what
Yeah,
was going wrong for England in the first half? Because it just looked like we have to give Italy credit, right? I think defensively they were good. They shut Lauren James out of most of the game, her getting touches, she wasn't able to really get high up besides that one opportunity late in the half. But Italy, their goal was brilliant. What broke down for England in the first half from what you guys saw? Kel, we'll go to you first.
It's like I can't really put my finger on what England isn't getting right during this tournament. The one thing that I know they're getting right is the grit and the perseverance. Like they're just battling through games and hanging on. There's nothing that England's doing that's exceptionally well, in my opinion, which is why I feel like that's why I was kind of shifted over to be an Italy fan and was excited for them, because England's like, they're showing up, they're playing and they're battling through, but I don't really think that they're like nailing any specific game plan. And if they are, I can't tell what it is, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can't either. And it seemed that, to me, it seems like teams have figured out how to break them down. It's those quick transitions. It's the combination play wide, send across in. But I'm waiting for Serena Wegman to change something, which tees me up perfectly for my next question. I want to start a damn petition that Michelle Agyemang and Chloe Kelly should start a match. Why on earth, after the last game, are they not getting more minutes?
Every England fan should be sending flowers, chocolates, fish and chips to those two. They are the dynamic that have kept this. They've kept this team in this tournament. Like if it wasn't for those two, they'd be out.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. So I think that is the biggest question going into the final for Serena is like, who do you start?
Yeah, I mean, still same.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are always tough questions because I am a huge fan of Agyemang in particular, right? But I think these are always the tough questions because we have seen this from Wegman dating back to 2022 when she never changed the lineup. Now she doesn't want to change the lineup. This is nothing new. And in fact, like I personally just think she's left some of the substitutions till late. But like, I mean, the argument is like, okay, she's starting these players and then she's bringing them on at the right time to like get the job done. Now, yes, if you start them and they score early and then go ahead, then you don't have to like worry about bringing them on. But here's the thing I think about England, and I appreciate them. I love their experience. I really enjoy a lot of those players individually. I just don't think they really have a plan B. I think they are what they are. And their first look is they want to play wide. And the left side looks a little bit different than the right side because you have more nuance with Lauren James when she plays out wide. Her and Bronze will combine, and then Hemp's going to take players on as direct. But that is always wants to be their first look. And teams have just taken away the midfield and made it really predictable for themselves. France did in the first game. Sweden did it in the quarterfinals. Italy did it today. And it's like there's not a plan B. And so it's not until those game changers, the substitutes come on and they are getting, but listen, we all know in these tournaments, sometimes in this game specifically, like at some point in time, I'm like, I'm not going to talk about tactics. That's not what it's about, right? You're just freaking doing whatever you can to dig deep and like serve good balls in, give yourself a chance, fight for, and they've gotten that right. And that's sometimes what tournament play is all about. And that's comes from experience and getting things right in previous years and the littlest moments for Italy. But I think, unfortunately, as a whole, this Italy team is way too predictable, and there really isn't, outside of everybody just elevating their play and then bringing on substitutes, there isn't a nuance to their game on how they can break teams down, like we see with Italy being able to change their formations, play wide areas, overload the wide channels, and then create that way. You're just not going to see that from England.
Somebody in the chat said if they don't start, why not bring them in earlier? And I was texting with BJ during the game, and I was like, it's almost like Serena's like, I can't, or Chloe Kelly has like on her instruction manual, it's like can only perform in a very condensed period of time, but will turn,
high pressure.
You know, like it's like you can't let her have that much time, or she might not be as effective. Like I don't know. It's like the weirdest thing.
It kills me because I feel like she's trying to make fetch happen and it's not. Let them get more time. At halftime, I was like, there has to be a change.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, I was actually surprised Hemp stayed on that long. I
Me
thought she was
too.
free off.
So
Kelly was
gassed.
going to stay. Yeah. Yeah. It's
I don't know. Do you think they're as good if they have more time?
Yeah, I mean, I think give these players some more time, but I do like this conversation because LOL, we're the ones that are like saying all these things, and Serena Wiegemann's like, hey, I'm making all the right decisions. Look at us keep winning.
Another final, yeah. Like,
Yeah, come on, we're going to a final, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, say what you want to say.
Honestly, I don't expect any changes too. I'm like, bring that same lineup in.
That was going to be my question. Do you think we'll see the changes? Maybe.
No,
You think it's going to
absolutely
be the exact same thing?
I think it's going to be fairly similar. Yeah.
I think it's going to be the exact same lineup. Starting
barring any injuries, barring if like Williamson's ankle is worse than maybe we all thought or what, right? But like, yeah. Or Lauren James, because I do think that she might have picked up some sort of niggle or something and couldn't go in the second. Because I actually don't think she would have made that change, Lauren James, either. Given one, that Lauren can at any time create some sort of moment of magic, and that's why, right? Like, even if she's being marked out of the game or can't be as impactful, she has that capability where a lot of players don't. So, but
yeah. Now, this is first half. Lauren James was the one forward for England that was actually getting on the ball and making dangerous plays, making things happen. Like, I don't think I heard you say Russo's name once, Lori, the entire half. So,
no, but I thought that was going to be more of I thought personally that was going to be the bigger matchup, those three center backs versus Russo. But they did a really good job on her. So,
yeah, very good job.
Great job, as did the subs. Once again, Michelle Agyemang coming in, 90 plus, gets the equalizer. I mean, young, phenom, baller, future of the Lionesses. She's going to be the next one to sign $1 million contracts. I absolutely love it. And then, of course, Chloe Kelly steps up. Controversial penalty. And we actually got some behind-the-scenes info from our rules expert, Christina Unkel, sent us her opinion on this. If it's not a preferred penalty decision to be given, there is a holding by both with more from the Italian player, which is why it's not clear and obvious error for VAR to intervene, but it's not a decision preferred for penalty. This is expected to not be called and not in line with her line of foul discrimination. Lori,
so
do you feel good that you got that right?
Yeah, I'm now becoming more pissed. For these Italian players. Like, I just feel incredibly upset because I mean, this is also what we heard from Mark Clattenburg as well. He came on and was like, listen, this is not something that I would call in this game at this moment. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And also, we've all been there in these heartbreaking moments when things don't go your way. And you know what? Listen, I'm going to say this again because I said it in game. I do feel like this is a huge learning point, and this is the smallest little things that separate teams because England has experience. They have won the rhythm of what it takes to go throughout all of these 7 matches to get to a final, winning, then the heartbreak of losing to Spain in 2023. But that in itself goes so far. And then also just seeing out individual games. And that was a little bit of my question for Italy because even in a few previous, not necessarily in the Norway game, but it was against Portugal in their second group play game. They were trying to show a little bit of gamesmanship and trying to close out that game. They end up conceding to Portugal. They tied 1-1. And so I was worried about how their approach was in these moments. And there was an opportunity that I think they're going to look back and wish they had done differently. Olivero has that opportunity, still running. Take it to the corner flag or play your teammates. Instead, she tries to go for gold, sends it over the crossbar, gives it right back to England. And that entire play is what set up them going back down and attacking and scoring that tying goal. So it's like those things, when it doesn't seem that much in the run of play, come back and get you. And you're already in the extra time, the additional time, go to the corner flag, draw fouls, keep it as far away from your own goal. And I'm like, yo, Oliviero, what have you done? And then, then you're fighting for your life and you've defended and you get a penalty called against you. So I hate to say it's so unfortunate.
I'm so sad for them.
I know.
I know. I was holding my heart when the penalty happened. The disbelief was so sad, but shout out to producer Mark. He did an audience poll. Was that a penalty? 58% said no. 41% said Yes, out of 129 people. Shout out to everybody that voted. But looking ahead, like you said, Lori, this is a team that has done this before. They know the cadence of a tournament. They're smarter, more intelligent in those game management moments just because they've been there, done that. On the other side of the table, they're also going to face two big dogs in the tournament that have been here, done this numerous times, Germany and Spain. Kel, I'm going to come to you first. Do you think England has what it takes to knock one of them out, especially after coming off of two games, going into extra time, one going to pens? It's a little more on your legs. We have question marks about Serena Wegman and her subbing. She's probably going to rock with it. Do you think they have enough in the tank to do it?
Here's the thing. They just had to play, like you said, 2 120-minute games. And that is really freaking hard. And at the end of the Sweden game, those girls were hanging on by their fingernails trying to stay in that game. They were so beat up. There were so many of them, like Lucy Bronze is taping her own quad. Like, yeah. Yenton has a tampon in her nose. Like, it's just, there was, I was like, are they going to make it with 11 players on the field?
That needs to be a Halloween costume, first of all. So maybe tampons.
Sure. Like, I feel like we got absolutely rocked by Sweden, but they held on. They won in PKs. And then, to come again and have to play another 120 minutes, the minutes add up, the load adds up. So to then potentially have to face a Spain who, depending on what happens tomorrow, hasn't gone into extra time, probably pretty fresh. Like they've had they've kind of cruised through the tournament. They don't want to see Spain. That's, Germany.
No one does.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody does. Germany, there's a chance that, they've had to play with 10 players for 107 minutes in their quarterfinal match. They're about to have to face Spain. Exactly. I know. Like, these teams, I mean, they're cooked by the end, but it's about who can hold on. So the reality has the load built up? Are they exhausted? Yes. Is it one more game? Is it one more opportunity? Like all you have to do is fight through one more game. Do I think that England, the team that we've seen for these past two games, has that in them? 100%. Like what I know about England, I don't know exactly what they're trying to do or their tactics or anything like that, but I know that they can freaking pull through and grind through a game and win whatever it takes. So there's a chance.
Yeah. Lori, with all that, you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
With all the battle wounds?
At this point in time, it's like last game, you're going for it. You're just leaving it all on the line. And that's where the experience comes, right? I think depending on who gets through for Germany Germany's sort of in the same boat. You've got defenders going down left and right. Newskin's going to be out for tomorrow. She's one of the ones that I think 3 players have scored for them. So we'll see what happens in that game. But Spain, they've gotten through this tournament pretty easily. So they're going to be fresh regardless if they make through tomorrow. Listen, Matt, if that's the case, then it's a rematch of the 2023 and bring it on.
Dude, that'll be a match if we get it.
Yeah, get your popcorn. Well, who's better matchup for England? Who gives them a better chance of bringing it home again?
Germany.
Oh, Germany. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're Spain, then you're looking at that and you're like, we're going to pass the hell out of this ball and just make them work. And I wouldn't say it's been the best defensive performance by any means from England. So I don't know if they were going to be wanting to chase the Spain players all around the entire time either. So.
Yeah, definitely not.